Hello. Yes, we know we are a board game channel, but we do like video games too. And while this is going to be a little bit about video games and gives us an opportunity to just talk about another one of our passions, we're also doing it for you board game fans and talking about the nominations for the Video Game Awards this year in 2025. But we're going to talk about them as though they'd be turned into board games.
Yeah.
What ones would make good board games? If we made them board games, what kind of board games would we make them? Because we have seen a lot of overlap.
A lot.
There's a lot of IPs. What did we have? Slay the Spire.
Yep.
We had Dead Cells, Stalker.
Yeah, we've had Apex.
Yeah, we've had a ton of coming over, some better than others. So we're going to talk about the 5 that were just nominated for the Video Game Awards and, you know, what kind of board games they could make. We'll start with the one that's probably, by the way, going to sweep the awards, and that's Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This is it's actually French developed, but it is very much a Japanese RPG inspired game, and it is beautiful. Turn-based combat. So a lot of those types of RPGs, I think, have traditionally always lent themselves to the tabletop experience because it's turn-based combat. You're not it's not real-time twitchy sort of.
Right. We've seen a lot of like board games that emulate turn-based combat where you set your party
that
up.
way.
But for me, I think the touch point for Expedition 33 is the expedition, is the exploration. And I'm picturing something more akin to like Witcher the Old World, where it's like it gives you this map and you're exploring it. And as you're exploring it, you're drawing the cards and the cards are giving you quests and saying, go to this area or, you know, kind of telling a story because the game is very narrative driven.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have a really, really cool board game that was centered on like exploring this new world. As they do in the game, they go to the mainland and kind of explore it for the first time. I could see something like that with that kind of turn-based character-driven combat mixed in.
I also think, I mean, just so you know, if you're not familiar with it, and hopefully we're showing you some B-roll, the world itself, I think lends itself, I think a lot of board game fans into sort of fantasy and things like that. If you haven't seen this game, you'll see it and you'll like, oh, I want to play in that world in some way, shape, or form. And if you're not into video games, this would be a good opportunity if someone makes it. And it's going to be a hot property, so we'll see if they license it out to anybody.
I could see a pretty strong role-playing game.
Oh, for sure.
In that world,
in that world,
for sure.
Absolutely. The next one is, now I'm curious to hear what you think about this one. Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
Oh, that's easy. Pick up and deliver. That is the heart of really what you're doing in Death Stranding is you're just going from one place to another, picking up stuff, delivering it somewhere else. And you have this whole route building element too, where like in Death Stranding, it's very, very difficult to get around, but you and other players can put roads and zip lines and all this stuff that makes traversing the land easier. So I don't know. I mean, I see that like a pick up and deliver game.
That is interesting. The game is so solitary though.
It is very.
I mean, are you thinking of a solo pickup and
No,
deliver?
but like, what was that Queen game, Dabawala, where you're stacking the food? And when I played that game
Combine
for the first
that
time, yeah, I was
with pickup and deliver.
I really felt like I was like, this feels like a Death Stranding board game already. The way that you're balancing all of these food crates on top of each other.
Okay, here are the elements that a Death Stranding board game needs to have. Something like that, where you're stacking up these goods that you're delivering. It's pick up and deliver, and one last mechanic, dexterity.
Joe, you think there should be an actual dexterity element?
Well, have you played the video game?
I have, yeah.
Like,
there's the way you're balancing.
Your guy is wobbling around all of the time.
He's got that giant, like, looks like a FedEx delivery man with 20 packages stacked
exactly. If you didn't have a dexterity element, I think you're missing the point. The next one we want to talk about. Now, this one I don't really know. I mean, I've played it. Have you played it?
Not the new, no. But I've watched a ton on it, and I know the. I mean, obviously,
it's Donkey Kong Bonanza. This is for the new Nintendo Switch. Side note: this is my own commentary. I'm not sure if this should have been nominated.
Well, apparently everyone says it's great.
It is good,
like the best Donkey Kong game.
Well, okay, sure, I'll give it that. And it is fun, but there's a novelty aspect to it that I think is fun. For a while.
What's the novelty?
The novelty is you're destroying everything. So I don't know how that relates to what you might do in a board game, but you literally can destroy so much of the environment.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You
like
could
Red Faction, but with Donkey Kong?
More.
Wow. Okay.
You literally just tear everything down to like you can tear through walls. You can do you're destroying
Feels
everything
like
in
it
the
would make a
game.
good party game. Like a
Possibly.
reverse Rhino Hero or Cat in the Tower, where you're not stacking it up, you're taking it down. It's much easier to destroy something than to
But you
build
are
it, though.
digging a lot, so I could see like stacks of cards, and maybe you're going down
Oh, that would be
into the
kind of
cards.
cool.
Not necessarily push your luck, although I think if you're gonna market a game to someone who cares at all about Donkey Kong, that's a mechanic that I think is an easy pleaser for sort of the more
Yeah, it
casual
needs to be
gamer.
that weight of a
For
standard
sure,
family. Like this is a family
this
weight
is not
game
a heavy euro,
for sure.
but Vitalis Serta.
No,
Let's
not for
get him on
this.
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
All right, and the next one is a game that I love. I don't know if you've played any of these games, but Hades 2.
I haven't played Hades. I haven't played Hades 1.
So for me, Hades and Hades 2, it's all about fast, frantic combat. You're dodging a lot. You've got these weapons. Every time you do a run, you kind of choose a weapon, and based on the weapon, you get some powers, and then you're interacting with these different gods, and they're giving you these powers. This is actually the game that made me start thinking about this video idea. Was I think it'd be a crazy cool dice game. Like all of your different powers are like gathering you different dice, and when you're attacking, you're just rolling these dice pools, almost like King of Tokyo style. Because the game is so fast, it's very difficult, I think, to replicate that the twitchness of the game in a board game. But when you're rolling dice, you feel that. You feel like you're there, like you're rolling as fast as you can or whatever. And like if you've got different cards from the different gods, they're like whenever you roll a 3, then something happens. Or if you roll a pair, something happens. Or if you add a blue die that goes up to a higher value. Like there's just a lot of stuff you can do with a dice game. I feel like that fits into the Hades.
There is a lot
feel.
of combo-y aspects to that game, right?
Yeah.
Like in
Oh
terms
yeah.
of like
Mhm.
building the right. Yeah, so I could see that lending itself obviously to building something like that. Maybe you're
Like a
getting
little engine going.
cards that are associated with all those dice. Maybe some of the cards that have powers come with those dice. But yeah, that's an interesting take. It does seem like I mean the game plays, it's an isometric looking game.
Mhm.
I asked Ryan, I said, does it play like Diablo? Because in so much that it looks like
It looks
isometric,
like
that's
that.
the only
It doesn't
thing.
play like
Yeah,
that.
it's a roguelike, right?
It is a roguelike, and every
Yeah.
time you restart, you're collecting stuff that like powers you up over time. But really, the unlocking the different weapons and understanding how the different weapons work and using different god powers that can, and like every kind of god has their own like genre of powers, if you want to call it that way. And if you take from the same god, they generally work together really well. But you can find some combos across them that are really powerful, and that's the fun of the game for me.
The next one we want to talk about is Hollow Knight Silk Song. If you're not familiar with the video game industry, this is a sequel to Hollow Knight that came out I don't know how many years ago from a small independent publisher studio, and this has been in development for so long. Like this is
Yeah.
the game that every year people are like, "Oh, are they going to announce a release date? Are they going to announce a release date?" Well, this year I want to say in August they announced a release date of September. And it just like came out 2 weeks later, and it kind of turned the video game industry on its ear because everyone was like, "Oh, but our game was coming out that
Yeah,
week."
right. They didn't
And
really-
now everyone's going to be getting Silksong, which was the case. Now, for like 1.5 or 2 weeks, it was nothing but Silksong. Everyone was all about Silksong. You know, people who stream video games and stuff like that, that's all they were playing. So it hit big. It sold insane amounts. It is a Metroidvania style game. So this is like a kind of in a way, if you're not a video gamer, kind of a classic retro side-scrolling adventure game where you're going around opening up new areas, needing to get like particular items to reach other areas. I don't know how this translates to a board game.
Well, we saw Dead Cells last year, which was a very similar premise. I mean, Dead Cells is also a side-scrolling, almost Metroidvania style game.
And while that was a good board game in and of itself, I think a lot of people who played it, it was well received. With that said, I don't feel it never felt to me like it was like this is just like playing Dead Cells.
Well, I don't know that you're gonna get that feeling.
Well, true. Although that's what people did say about Slay the
I mean, it's
Spire.
okay. Slay the Spire feels like playing, but
But
Slay
the
the
video
Spire
game
was
is,
it is
yeah,
a card
exactly,
game.
exactly.
And if you're
It's not a fair comparison.
if you're a board gamer and you like deck building games and you haven't played Slay the Spire because you say I'm not a big video gamer, it literally feels like playing a digital board game.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
for
That
sure.
is literally Slay the Spire. I could see a more one-to-one go from biome to biome in Hollow Knight, fight enemies with whatever combat system, get upgrades, get new weapons, get unlocks that let you go back. I mean, it's hard for me to get Dead Cells, the board game, out of my head when I'm thinking about Hollow Knight, but I could imagine not the same system, but you could do something very similar to that for Hollow Knight.
The thing is with Hollow Knight, even though it's cartoony, I want a game with miniatures from Hollow Knight.
That would be cool.
Like,
Well,
I
Dead
want-
Cells had miniatures.
I want all the enemies though. I mean, there's like Silksong has like 40 plus
I know there's
bosses.
a lot of different, yes.
Like
And
that
you're
would be a big selling point if they had a game with all those
you
bosses.
could, I mean, you could make it a boss battler.
yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
you choose. I
That
mean,
you work up towards.
you work up towards the boss, and like the boss changes everything about the game, and then you go fight the boss, and there's new rules and everything.
There we go.
I don't know that I would want like a 3D tactical Oathsworn style boss battler, but
No, but it could be something
Card
cool
driven
like
or
that
dice
for sure,
driven.
because those oftentimes feel like a video game.
Yeah.
The last one we want to talk about is Kingdom Come Deliverance
yeah,
2. This is a
I
sequel.
don't even remember the first one, by the way.
Neither do I. I don't think it hit as big as this one did. This one hit pretty big. I didn't come across my radar, but this is like a hardcore. It's been definitely historically based, but a hardcore sort of simulation RPG experience, kind of like Skyrim, if you're familiar with Elder Scrolls Skyrim, but on steroids, because it gets incredibly detailed and in some cases somewhat tedious in terms of like managing your weight and encumbrance and what you can carry and all that. But like
And crafting everything, and
the
like
degree to which this thing, like you could kill anyone, like you could literally take out every character, right?
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Like there's no NPCs that are safe.
yeah,
Like you could just destroy the
it's
world.
a true choose your own adventure. I mean, you can really literally go down all these different paths, and it is, like you said, it is a huge simulation game. I think that would be the part that people would want to see most, is like the art. Like this would be out of all of them, the one that felt most like an RPG in a box. I feel
Yeah.
like, where you're getting gear and weapons and equipping your character and leveling your character up and going to different areas of the map and fighting things, like a traditional RPG in a box experience.
Yeah, you'd want repercussions because the game, if you kill this person, well, then you can't do that. Like, there's a lot of things in this game that are affected like that. But yeah, there's a lot of little things too in the game, like getting enough sleep, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah, this one feels like the kind of game when you see it set up and you're like, oh my gosh, it has 1,000 components. Like when it gets down to the level of like you're collecting berries off of a tree and you're getting little berry tokens that you're using to like make stuff later. And like this seems like the kind, I mean, there's definitely an appeal to that sort of board game. We've seen board games that get that granular. They're not necessarily for me, but they have huge audiences.
Yeah, I see boxes upon boxes of cards
Oh yeah.
where it says get card 763, and you get it up and it's those berries that I just picked.
Sure.
Like that's the kind of, I think, game
I
that
think
this wants
so.
to be.
If all of these were games, then which one would you think would be the most fun to make as a board game?
None of them.
Really?
My favorite one would be if they made a board game of Arc Raiders.
Okay, but that was nominated for best multiplayer game.
I'm sneaking it in because not that it just came out and I'm 100% obsessed with this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would make a great board game, a great tabletop
It
experience.
would.
It's an extraction shooter, so you're like getting in, getting out. So that's the one I'd want. Maybe we get Paul Denon to design it. I mean, it is a Clank is
an
maybe the
extraction
original
game.
extraction
It's
game.
it is technically. I think honestly the pick up and deliver of Death Stranding 2 feels like it'd make a pretty fun game.
I came into this video thinking that would be the least exciting game for me because of the video games. It's probably
It's fairly tedious.
it
and
may be
long.
the least exciting on this list. Maybe Kingdom Come Deliverance is a little less exciting to me, but after hearing your pitch, as soon as I heard pick up and deliver, which I can't even believe I didn't think of,
Sure.
then I was on board.
Yeah, that sounds
Especially
like
when we combine. I mean, it probably wouldn't be a fun game.
dexterity.
If we included dexterity, it would be too silly and stupid, but it seems like it's a good fit anyway. But those are the 5 video game awards nominees for Game of the Year. And we thought we'd have fun with it. Thank you for letting us talk about video games here. If you're a board game and you're like, what are you guys talking about video games for? We tried to bridge the gap and bring it over to talk about some board games as well.
And also, if you are the IP holder of any of these games and you'd
Call
like
me.
us to make some board games,
If you're watching this and you work at Embark Studios, call me. because I have ideas for an Arc Raider board game.
Of course.
Call me. I'll put Ryan's phone number in the comments below.
That's
He'll
great.
get in touch with me.
Sure, I'll patch
Is that
it through.
cool with you? You're
Yeah,
fine
sure,
with that?
fine.
Okay. Anyway, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you like video games, great. If you hate video games and you're like, don't ever do this again,
Well, probably still
just trust that we know that. You don't have to put it in the comments.
Yeah.
All right. But if you get down in the comments, just be nice and enjoy.
It's fun. It's fun
all
to
of
talk
our-
about this stuff.
Yeah, indulge us a little bit.
We like speculating.
But until next time, make sure everyone has fun at the table and in front of your televisions or computer screens. And we'll see you then.